Hey guys, and welcome to another Refactorizing episode. I am here with ColonelWill and Mojo again.
Hello.
Hi.
And today we're going over Mauri's base. If I can't pronounce this, I'm sorry. And Will was no help either.
I wasn't trying to help.
Yeah, right. So
Neither was I.
they emailed in and they said that they had some power problems. They had some defense biter problems, which is actually pretty funny here. And then I think they said some oil problems, which is definitely true. But yeah, so we'll start here at the power. Do you want to cover this? Or you want me to?
I can cover it if you want. So I think we've counted to begin with, and you said it was 1:14:10, which is the correct ratio here in version 14. So yeah, it's all okay. The problem is there's just not enough of it, and this looks like reclaimed land to me. So the way I'd do it is just rip all of this down and just build, like, these sets here are pretty good. You don't need all this extra pipe though. And you just run 1:14:10 straight across, and then just rinse and repeat over and over and over again, running a coal belt just straight up by the pumps.
Right.
And you can get probably 3 times as many steam engines in this land just by tucking them all up together.
Yeah, you can definitely fit a lot more in here, be way more space efficient.
Yep. And if you kept reclaiming land to the north, you can just add more.
And they do have a whole ton of solar panels, like an entire steel chest worth, but they don't have anywhere to put them, which I think is kind of where the biter issue comes in, because they haven't been able to push out. In fact, they've just like infinitely walled themselves in, which is pretty funny in some areas. But we are gonna, if we have time, we're gonna do a little freedom clearing because they do need room to put panels somewhere. So down here at the smelters, this is something that is, I'm actually, hold on. I'm already confused. We already looked over this, but I'm confused again. Okay, now I'm really confused. Oh, okay. So, what's happening here? Okay, so what's happening here is I think that, maybe the impression that they had is that the splitter has to actually use both of its ends. If you see over here, they're sending this top into the splitter back under and through into another line, but the other line eventually just merges like into the same thing at the end. So the same thing could be achieved a lot easier, in fact, by even just getting rid of this splitter, I think, and just sending this direct, exactly like Will just did.
Yep. So I'm on it.
Yeah, now, of course, these ammo factories don't have iron now, but they are making piercing ammo farther down the bus, which they should switch out at this point, because they're at like 64% evolution, so this stuff won't do anything.
I always recommend just not mass producing yellow ammo unless you're on a large multiplayer map.
Yep. Just a couple of stacks in one assembler is fine. How long does this belt go for?
Oh, all the way to the bus. You got a ways to go. And then we have more iron smelting here, which is interesting. This is okay. I mean, they are merging it. They're undergrounding it and then merging it, so that's okay. It is red belt on the yellow belt. And actually, this is like yellow belt amounts almost. But we'll leave it. That's not that big of a deal. So then what we could do here is just, yeah, exactly. Just combine that into one. This guy is,
So there's 4 smelters and there's a 4-lane rebalancer just here.
I've got 2 lanes.
Each one of those smelter outputs could just go into each one here.
Yeah.
We do have another lane here, though.
Yeah, so that's the bottom one. This would be... Yeah. I did that one. Nearly that. There we go. And then we just need to find the fourth one.
Oh, there's one right here.
It's just here.
Oh, it's there. Okay, well, he's just the top one. Get rid of all that.
One belt short.
Only working on yellow belt speed, so we don't need red belt anywhere.
No.
Oh, and that's not quite a full
Hey.
rebalancer.
No. It's okay. If you want to rebuild it back a bit before the first split off as well. Yeah. I'll just realign this copper belt. I could do this all day
Just.
and not get... Just play with belts and tidy them up. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But I might be here for another hour after the video.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure the viewers would love that.
They'll watch anything. It's fine.
True.
There we go.
Alright, so got that. I'm still trying to make a damn splitter. We need like 2 more
I'm out.
here.
Do you need me to teach you how to do it?
No, I'm trying to make a splitter.
You take your gear wheels and you splice them together with your iron plate, and a splitter comes out. That's how it's done.
It's slow. All right, I'm waiting on the things. Did I do that backwards? Don't we need a splitter in here for the throughput?
Oh, we're just doing a Zoe dedicated. What's this even go to? Gear wheels. Trouble is, we
So
split off.
it's-
The problem is, you split off more than 4 times. So if you do that, you're going to end up with no belts.
Arguably, it can't fill 4 yellow belts.
True.
No, it's not. Yeah. So moving on, we got the smelting kind of worked out a bit. Fixed the balancer, which I think is still incomplete, but pretty sure we're still missing a splitter. Yeah. So they're making a ton of gear wheels here, and this is okay. It's pretty standard-ish, I'd say,
Yeah.
gear wheel setup.
Don't need to do this though, with the little belt trick.
Mm-mm.
Side loading, that's old tech. You can do it with an underground belt now, like we do in the smelters. You also don't need that because it's inherently balanced.
Yeah.
And we definitely don't need to split into 2 lanes of gears.
And if you want,
Oh, that actually splits off to 2 different destinations.
That's what I'll do up here with a splitter.
yeah, just do that. And then also, if you want like full production, you actually need 2 inserters on your input because a gear takes 2 iron, right? So you need to input 2 times as much as you're exporting.
Yeah.
And then,
I don't have inserts. to
well,
fix
I
that,
just
so.
showed. You just put.
Okay, yeah.
And then this,
Uh,
this is a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
So we kind of have like 3 no-nos in in one section here. There's first of all, this looks to be a 1-to-1 ratio, which until you get modules is going to kind of stunt your production because the 1-to-1 without modules, it's just there's not enough copper cable. You need the 3-to-2, and then it's being put onto a belt, and really I would say the only time you want to be putting copper cable onto a belt is for red circuits because they don't need that many. Green circuits is definitely something where you want direct insertion. And then lastly, they're also merging it onto the iron belt, which has the throughput again. And you can see here that the gear or the cable is really only making it to like halfway through, if that. So this, I don't know. I don't know. This wouldn't really be that easy of a fix. It would require kind of a whole tear up.
You could, the simplest tidy up you could do is just to make the copper cable direct insert into the green circuits, even if it isn't the perfect ratio, the 3-to-2 ratio.
Yeah, that would.
It'd still tidy up the belts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would have to move some of this a bit, but
You would actually, getting rid of those belts, you might be able to squeeze a 3rd in. Might.
yeah. So yeah, just keep that in mind. You don't want your cables on belts, preferably for something as high as merging this, of course, is not good, but you don't want it on a belt in the first place. And then you do want 3-to-2 if possible. But as Mojo said, even direct insertion would help this a fair bit, even if you keep this 1-to-1 ratio.
I can actually see it here. These bottom machines are not outputting anymore.
Yeah, they can't.
No.
Yeah.
If you did underground belt trickery, you might get a bit
Get
more.
a few more.
Yeah, but you still, I mean, you would still don't want it on a belt.
Yeah.
And definitely not half a belt.
Yeah, definitely not half a belt. Okay, so that takes care of that. What's next on your guys' list?
The unholy amount of insert production.
Oh, yeah, that. That's a lot of inserters.
I heard you like the inserters. So we made inserters making inserters.
Yeah, pretty much. This is enough for like, I don't know, like 60 green science things or more. It's just a guess. I don't know. I'm not mathing right now, but
I think even more.
yeah, even more. I would
And
imagine.
Definitely not the smelting to supply it.
Yeah, no way. These things eat through the iron and gears pretty quick, and the circuits even.
Yep. Moving on, I think someone's just trying to upset me here with this.
Yeah, this is...
Because I feel like it could be done. It's unnecessary, and it's just hurting.
Mm-hmm.
Followed up by the most insane medium power pole production ever with a whoopsie daisy.
Yeah, pretty big whoopsie daisy.
They are now the proud owners of 1,600 medium power poles.
I mean, medium power poles are great, but that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings up, we did mention it, I think, on our very first video of this series, and probably a couple more. You really want to make sure you cap your chests. It looks like pretty much every chest in here is uncapped. Well, yeah, every chest in here that I found is pretty much uncapped. So, tons of stuff. I mean, 2,500 solar panels, those will be used. So, I mean, I guess that's not that bad for that one, but the power poles is quite excessive.
Yeah, and they need to place these solar panels. They're not helping in setting a box. So they say they had power trouble. Let's get them on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, I even see a little area kind of to the southwest within the wall. Down here, you could put some at least.
And I see some just directly south. You see how the wall comes up around that copper patch directly underneath us? That wall could just run straight across. You'd have plenty of space to put some down.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could even put him on the ore patches. He's not short of resources on this map.
I mean, if you're short on power and you need power for defense, because you need laser turrets to hold off big biters, ideally, which is what's going to be coming at them, any power will help, even if it's just solar panels. Don't worry about the accumulators if you're struggling. Just get some power coming in.
Mm-hmm.
The best way to do it, I'd say, is with bots. Just get the bots to deconstruct the entire forest and then push the wall down towards that body of water.
Do you guys see this?
Oh, you just seen the pipe production?
Someone called Doy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So you thought the medium power poles were a lot.
I told you that before. So I'd call DeRoy.
It's like the Alaskan pipeline going on here. I don't know where he plans to build this, but... Oh, my gosh. Okay, so...
It actually...
it's not even the right ratio, is it?
For what?
Yeah, there is a ratio for pipes to underground pipes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it's
forget
not
that.
5 to 1 or 10 to 1.
10 to 1, isn't it?
He just wants pipes,
Yeah,
all
10
right?
to 1.
They just want pipes, and they got them.
1,600 sat in this box.
Underground pipes,
uncapped.
too.
Yeah.
And they take 5 iron apiece and 10 pipes. Oh, God.
Which each takes an iron, yeah.
That's so much iron. So, yeah, cap your boxes.
Right, and then this
pipe to ground could easily be a big robot frame and electric engine production.
Yeah.
Very good point.
Which this base doesn't have.
Yeah, see, this is better. So I think they didn't want to rebuild the other one. So they're just like, all right, well, we'll just do a good one down here, which works. What on earth is happening here?
I get the feeling that this is their first time getting past red and green, because they seem to have red and green sus, and this is blue, and it's not the same style as before. There's not the confidence here.
No, which is understandable if this is their first time
Yeah.
doing blue.
Yeah, it's just like there's not as many of them. It's a different design to the others. I just get the feeling this is their first.
Yep, I think so too. This is a decent inserter build. I mean, I used to actually build it pretty much exactly like this.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not that different from how we do it now. We wouldn't put it onto about to pick it up again. We just pass it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's very similar to how we do it. And this would need more green circuits to run this better, but then they're only trying to run 8 science.
And it looks like red circuits. Oh, they're only supplying with these 2 red circuits, even though this belt's backed up. So I would say merge this to go over to blue science.
Yeah, this should just be 1 red science production.
And way overkill on the copper cable here. They need about 1/8 of this much, or 1/10.
Now, this is where that other design would be better. The copper wire on a belt.
Yeah, exactly. Except like 1/10 of it. Just like one of these onto a belt for all of this. 1 or 2 maybe, since they speed moduled it. But so that.
Oh, we got to show the wall over here.
Oh yeah. So
I love it.
this is great.
What was it? You called this? This is a panic wall.
Yeah, this is a panic wall if I ever saw one. Just like, I bet they just saw a huge force building up, and they were just like, screw this forest, and they just spammed down a wall as fast as they could. Is what it looks like. Which, I mean, it works. It's gonna take the biters quite a while to get through this. Maybe. But
it actually occurred to me that if you have a wall big enough, the biters won't be able to pass through it.
Yeah. What?
I'm not quite sure how thick it has to be, though.
Okay, so that takes care of that. They have, like, plastic here and petroleum, which they're running from their oil, which I guess is a good time to go over that now.
Yeah, that's where I'm heading to now. Interesting mining drill setup as well for the iron ore. It's sort of a circular type thing. I'd just stick to the rows.
Yeah, I think the rows would probably work better. So, oil tanks. Just
been there, done that.
Oil tanks.
Been there, done that, like
Oil
10 times. So we're not going to mention that. If you've watched pretty much any of the videos in the series, you'll know what we say about that.
Yeah. Found some lube.
And some more light oil. If you need light oil. So yeah, they do have a petroleum problem, and it's because
there's no cracking.
heavy oil's backed up.
There's none of the refineries are set to advanced oil processing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of heavy oil production.
And I can't see a single cracker. They just keep making the heavy just goes into lube, and they just keep storing light. They need to start cracking.
Wait, did you change these just now to advanced oil processing?
Yeah, just that.
Oh, okay. So they would need to change the water inputs, but yeah, you definitely.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Definitely want this to be advanced oil like we have it now, and then crack the hell out of this heavy. No more lube. No. I know you need a lot of lube, but I mean, you got like 20,000 of it here. So definitely.
There is a water pipe here.
Yeah, it's very easy.
Yeah,
if
these
only
ones
we
are
had some
easy.
pipe.
You got plenty of pipe too. Well, I didn't
Really?
grab any.
I don't have any. If only there was a convenient box sat around with a few thousand in it, it would be most useful.
Damn, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, so want to crack this into light. You already have a ton of light, so you're going to want a ton of light to petroleum. That should fix your petroleum right there.
Yeah, done. And this oil, this map is OP for oil anyway. And
there is some cracking just here.
Oh, we found it.
Oh, I would multiply this by about 10.
More faster, double it.
Yeah, exactly. And then probably about half that again for the heavy to light. And Yeah, so that takes care of the oil. Let me see what time. We're at 20 minutes. I don't know. Do we want to give a shot at some freedom clearing or not?
Yeah, we can have a nibble at this one up top right by the water.
Okay. So, yeah, I think that, because we haven't, in these videos, in this series, we haven't really gone over, like, combat, so this would be a good demonstration. We are 64% evolution, which should be spawning big biters, maybe big spitters. I don't remember when big spitters spawn. But
It looks like there's both. Oh, we had to go right when it was dark.
great.
I'll lead the way.
So I have turrets. The best method here is actually probably turret creep, because I didn't see any flamethrower stuff.
Oh dear.
Oh, Mojo has a flamethrower. Of
Oh,
course
that's
he
the way.
does. Okay, cool. So a flamethrower is actually your best option at this point. Mojo's the only one who bothered to get one. But we do have gun turret and damage. Ouch, ouch. Upgrades. So if you can do this without dying, like I almost did, if you just creep up here.
You didn't get armor, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus. I think that was a big worm. Yeah, this is what happens when you
was.
go
That
out
was
in
a
the
big worm.
dark. So this was a this is our section of how you don't do things. I forgot to mention that.
Don't do what Donnie Don't does.
Yeah. But that's the deal.
I'm gonna stick in my wheelhouse and just fix belts.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm just gonna observe. So pretty much, this is the method you would use if you were smart enough to see the big worm and not get hit by it.
So there's actually 2 big worms, so you need to be, 3 big worms, so you need to be strategic here.
Yeah, what you need to do is put down a turret for them to start shooting at, and then you can walk up and they won't target you, and then you can just, just do what Mojo's doing. Or even just walk up and flamethrower them at this point, I think. Because they got their eyes set on the turrets.
Uh-oh, there's a 3rd one. Ouch.
Yeah, he's not distracted.
There he goes, that's 2 down.
Yep, so you can...
Not perfectly efficiently, that's not bad.
There you go. So that's pretty much how you would do it, just slowly but surely, and I would suggest not doing it at night. That's why I didn't see the big worm. But yeah, so you could clear out some freedom and just start walling it off and place some solar panels, which should fix your defensive enemy issue and your power issue simultaneously.
So do you want to just quickly wander over here and then just zoom out a bit?
I'm all the way zoomed out.
Okay.
Oh.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big worms there.
Okay, so in that case, you could probably still use the same strategy. You just have to be really careful.
I'd invest in laser turrets for that one.
I was gonna say laser turrets or potentially a tank. You could probably take this out with a tank too. Just pot shot them with your tank cannon, and it can take, I think, quite a few hits from big worms. Hell, you could even just run them over. That actually almost works better than the tank shell. It's just to drive over the stuff with the tank.
It's
but yeah,
unusual to see worms so close to spawn.
Yeah, it is. They've definitely got a challenge on their hands, but I think it's doable. So that pretty much covers it. Was there any last things you guys wanted to touch on here?
Nope, that's all for me, I think.
Yep, I think we covered everything.
Alright, perfect. Well, hopefully that was helpful, and yeah, this may or may not be the last episode in the series, depending if we get 15 next week or not, because we would want to reboot the series at that point, since these 14 factories would be pretty obsolete. But yeah, so we'll see. Maybe the last one. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed, and would love to hear any thoughts, comments you have down in the comments. But till next time, we will see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.